Hi, and welcome to episode 6 of CultureWatch Radio. I'm Andrew Smith, and with me is Bill Muhlenberg. This week we saw the National Conference for the Labor Party and what looked like a preoccupation with gay marriage. Is this what our other major political parties should be concentrating on? Bill?
Thanks, Andrew. Yes, well, it was more than a preoccupation. It looked like an obsession. The Sunday was spent a good hunk of the day going over this issue of homosexual marriage. Interesting for a few reasons. First of all, homosexuals only make up about 2% max of the population. And of that 2%, those who actually want marriage are even a smaller fraction again. So here we are having a whole political party, a federal party, spending all of its time trying to placate this really handful of individuals who may not even vote for them anyway. So it's been a very bizarre week indeed to watch their machinations on this conference.
And in terms of a conscience vote, are they being really honest?
Oh, look, they've made a whole lot about this conscience vote. Everybody in the media Sunday night from the Labor Party, aren't we wonderful? We're allowing this conscience vote. Sorry, Jack, there's a lot of games being played here. First of all, the Labor Party has never really had much of a conscience vote. It's basically you follow cabinet policy or you're a goner. On a few rare occasions, things like abortion, they may indeed have a conscience vote, but otherwise you do what you're told to do. So that's the first kind of myth about all this, as if they're a party of diversity. Sorry, you do what they say or you're gone. And also, the real game that's being played here, of course, is that Tony Abbott of the Libs has said we will not have a conscience vote on this simply because this is coalition policy, heterosexual marriage. We will not be destroying marriage by allowing homosexual marriage. So all they're doing when they go on and on about conscience vote, they're trying to get Tony Abbott to cave in here, knowing that there's a few renegades in the coalition who, with their numbers, they just might tip it over in their direction.
Bill, the latest push for gay marriage doesn't even seem to be holding traction with the Australian public. In the latest GetUp Survey, it came in last, number 13.
Yes, absolutely right. This is a progressive lefty organization, GetUp. And so they offered this list of important causes, and they had a huge response. And as you rightly say, homosexual marriage came a clear last. Nobody was interested. So if even the leftist public is not interested, why is the Labor Party so obsessed with this very obscure and fringe issue?
And given the lack of relevance that the Labor Party is exhibiting, are they committing political suicide in the mind of the Australian public?
Well, you'd certainly think so. I think your average Australian's a bit more worried about, say, education, health concerns, national defense. These are some of the bigger items that most ordinary Australians are concerned about. They're certainly not worried about giving two men or two women the right to so-called marriage.
And with this vote our way or we'll throw you out of the party line, it's as if this free vote that they're talking about is being taken away. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, absolutely right. They made it clear they will allow it now, and I just explained why they're allowing it now, so they can get Tony to soften up here. But otherwise, they've made it clear they will take it away in future elections and referendum. So, sorry, they have no tolerance at all for diversity of opinion, just as the militant homosexual lobby certainly doesn't display tolerance. Well, now the Labor Party is saying to all of its members, you will either accept our view that only homosexual marriage is the way to go, or, sorry, get out of our party. Not exactly an open, tolerant party, not exactly the party of the working class, I would have thought.
And not exactly democracy.
No, not at all. It's interesting, back in 1970, Kim Beazley Sr. gave a very impassioned word at the Western Australia Labor Party conference. He said this: "When I joined the Labor Party, it contained the cream of the working class. But as I look about me today, all I see are the dregs of the middle class." And what I want to know is when you middle-class perverts are going to stop using the Labour Party as a spiritual spittoon. Wow. Talk about strong words. And that was, 35 years ago he was concerned about the direction of the Labour Party. And it's certainly gotten a lot worse since then.
Bill, those of us who want to defend traditional marriage, what's the best thing for them to do?
Well, as always, the thing is to contact our local politicians. Giving them a call, an email, that's a good start. A letter, the very best has always been. Take 10 minutes out and see if you can go out for a coffee with them. Get to know them personally, meet up with them, share your concerns, and build that relationship. That is always the most effective. It's not really political lobbying. It's simply getting to know the guy who's representing you and you're paying for with your tax dollars. So either way, if you can see them, great, but give them a phone call, email, a letter, but you have to let your members know and the heads of the parties know. This is important. The destruction of marriage is something we're not going to just sit by and allow to happen. We're very concerned about it indeed.
Bill, with the direction that Labor's been taking, are they a write-off for Christians?
Well, I'd like to think any true Christian who believes the Word of God and values the values of God and His Word, not some political party, is going to be very concerned indeed. How can you support in good conscience something like homosexual marriage, which is a direct attack on God's institutions of marriage and family? How can you support something like the destruction of the unborn? The sanctity of life is another key biblical and Christian value. So I would, certainly encourage all Christians who have perhaps voted Labor in the past to reconsider. How can you support a party which is going so clearly against strong biblical values?
As always, there's plenty more information available at the Culture Watch website. Just Google Culture Watch, and we'll see you with another episode next week of Culture Watch Radio.